It was 12 years ago that two men stumbled upon a body near Keystone Dam. It was later determined it was Johnny Baker, who had disappeared a couple months earlier. He had signs of trauma, and investigators determined he had been murdered. And while there have been some suspects, investigators have never had enough evidence to file charges. We're very happy to bring back Ed Jackson, the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office Cold Case Task Force, today to talk through this case. Welcome, Ed.
Thank you.
Now, Ed, every month when you come on here, we talk about someone out there knows something about these cases that can help bring justice for a grieving family. And this is one that's more recent than we've talked about before.
It is a newer case, only 11 years old, actually. It's rather sad. This gentleman disappeared. As a matter of fact, his daughter said that the last time she had seen or heard from him was in the middle of November 2010. She went out to Hard Rock Casino looking for him, and this was on November the 29th of 2010. Johnny liked to play high-stakes poker and generally had quite a lot of money on him, although his regular source of income was that he owned a number of rental places in North Tulsa. She went out hoping that he was there, looked and couldn't find him. When she was driving back to Tulsa, she saw his truck parked beside I-244 about Memorial, stopped and found that it was locked and abandoned. She called Tulsa police, and Tulsa police towed the truck and held it to be processed, and also took her missing persons report. Well, when these two gentlemen found him, and they were out about 22700 West 21st Street. That's right by the old Highway 151 and right close to the south side of the Keystone Dam. When they found him, of course, they called the sheriff's office. There was no identification on or about the area, on him or about the area. The medical examiner said that he died due to blunt force head trauma. Another detective was working a missing persons case and came to the homicide unit saying, you know, these may be connected. And he took the dental records to the medical examiner, and sure enough, it did turn out to be Johnny, who was 68 years old. Now, this being a relatively new case, only 11 years old, and it is a fact that there are very few police officers, detectives, and even fewer people like me who are volunteer investigators. It takes the public. Without the public's help, the country fails and things are just not solved. So please, like I say every month, if you know something, just make a simple call. It costs you nothing. It could mean the world to a grieving family. We need your help, and it's the right thing to do.
Real quick, have there been any suspects, and if so, you know, what's been the biggest challenge to get somebody convicted for this crime?
Well, the challenge is you might know something, but you have to have physical evidence and witnesses, at least physical evidence, to get charges filed and prove it in court. In this case, there are numerous suspects, one of which is, and I have not verified this, but I understand one is in prison for another violent crime he committed. But it's going to take the public to come forward and say, hey, this is not somebody's problem, it's everybody's problem.
How important is it to you to get this case solved for, you know, the victim's family, maybe watching this right now and getting them some justice?
It's very important. That's the reason I do what I do. It'd be very simple for everybody to say, well, it's not my problem, it's somebody else's. I don't look at it that way. It's my problem, it's my community. It could be my family, it could be my friends, and everybody deserves the justice they can get.
Ed, thank you so much as always for being here. And as Ed said, someone out there does know something. So if you have any information that could help investigators solve this case, call the Tulsa County Cold Case Task Force at the number there on your screen. That's 918-596-8836.